Did I do it? Are we live? We are live. Oh my gosh. Oh, we have somebody on. This is the Noelle show today. Would you like to join? I'm joking.
Because I could have stayed home and worked.
Mom, you have to be here for your 1 o'clock.
But I was making a bag.
I know.
You want to see what I was making?
But you knew what time the 1 o'clock was.
I know, but I was making a bag.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to report her to the boss for tardiness.
Well, I got written up yesterday.
By who?
The boss. So I'm hoping today I'll get fired.
Wait, what did you get written up about?
I was just hoping to get written up so I could get fired today and not have to come to work.
Oh, this is what you're making.
That's what I'm making, and I'm making the small one.
She's making the little
You let it go.
The little iron holder by Miss Annie, by. So that's what you've been working on. Mm-hmm. Meanwhile, I've been over here slaving away, working every day and night like a dog.
I work every day.
No, it's a quote.
Oh, from what?
The Help. Is it The Help? Viola Davis, when she's like, I work every day. I probably shouldn't be referencing that in terms of me doing a job here at the coolest store. Anyways.
I was going to say, I put in my everyday work on all day Sunday when I'm doing classes and all day Monday when I do the
Yes, I forgot you had to work on Sundays. You know I'm joking.
No, I don't.
I think you're the second hardest worker here behind me.
She's gonna die soon.
I'm joking.
Everybody, let's get it together for the last rites that she'll be receiving momentarily.
Here lies. Have you seen those videos and their TikToks and it's husbands go up to their wives and they go, your hair looks so soft, can I touch it? And the girl goes, sure. And they touch it. And then it flashes their obituary and it's like, in memoriam. You should have done that for me just now, saying you're the second hardest worker after me. Everybody, just for the record, I'm completely joking when I say this. I know how much she works. It's just a running joke that I have with her that I'll always be like, you work so hard. She needs her nap.
I do need my naps.
Everyone needs
But you know what? I feel so much better today than I did yesterday, because yesterday on my sciatic, I never remember how to say it. It was so flared up on Sunday and Monday. It was exhausting. Mm-hmm. I got home and I had to take a nap. I really did. That's why I went home early.
I know.
It was exhausting.
But then I was messing with her because I was like, wow, you came in late. You're leaving early. Here I am running the business, single mother, you know.
You're a single mother?
Yeah.
I have grandkids.
Fig, you have your grandcat.
The cat.
Grandkitty.
The cat was sleeping with me.
While you were sewing?
While I was sewing. She sleeps.
Was she in her little fabric bin or was she in your lap?
Yeah, she was in her fabric bin.
She's a very good sewing buddy.
Did we get the new mat?
No. I flipped this one over.
Okay, good.
This is one of the old ones.
Yes, and there's another one we can flip over.
But I don't know if everyone will be okay with it.
It has to be okay. These things are expensive. They have to be okay.
I'm ashamed.
Yes.
But yeah, I flipped it over and did some good old notes. Say hello when you're on. We're like shouting to the void right now.
We are. Maybe because they don't want to know.
What if they can't hear us?
What if they don't want to know that
they're like, I'm here, but I don't want anyone to know that I'm here.
Yeah. They're like, don't tell them we're here. Hide, so they can't see us. Hide. That's what they're saying. Don't anybody tell them that we're here.
Oh my gosh, wait. I saw this. Okay, wait. I saw this on Instagram.
I don't know what's happening, folks. She's
I saw this on Instagram. Okay. It goes, this is a new trick. What? Are you ready? Wait.
I'm afraid. all
Oh,
today.
I'm dizzy.
We're losing we're losing
Did it work?
viewers.
Did it look like I was on a wheel?
Nobody's posting.
Did it look like I was on a wheel?
No, it looked like you were having some sort of
Dang it.
seizure. It was very weird. I don't know what that was.
Ooh, I made myself dizzy.
Where are y'all from?
Let me ask
Somebody
Debbie.
tell us where you're from. Oh.
Let me ask Debbie if it
Okay.
was like. Did it look like I was on a wheel?
Hi, I'm Tisha Copeland at Not Your Mama's Quilt Store, and today is What's New Wednesday, and I am here to tell you fun stuff we have going on this week.
Hello, Miss Marilyn Thorne.
Hello.
Happy to have you on from Frisco.
Thank you, Miss Marilyn, for saying hello. I hope we haven't scared you away too much. Oh my gosh, everybody jumped on all at once.
Because
Okay.
they heard I was flying around on a wheel. I want to know if it looked like I was on a wheel.
No, it did, sure.
I want to.
So, we always have fun things we're doing. Here comes Debbie.
Good job, Deb.
What happened?
That's just the boot camp information.
The booty camp information.
Not booty camp. Stop it.
Yeah, but I'm not quite that talented.
Well, you can just hold the shoes up like that and pretend.
But it's more fun if I say I'm on a wheel.
Anyhow, we have antics going on here all the time. And the biggest one we have right now this week is boot camp for sewing, for quilting. It's a quilting boot camp. And our newest person, Miss Taylor Potter, is heading that up every day from 10:30 to 11:30 or so.
The start time is pretty strong. Try and be here by 10:30, but we go a little past 11.
We do. She does, not me. I've heard they are fantastic.
Oh my gosh, the games they've been playing have been so much. I played one of the games.
You didn't win anything.
I didn't win anything,
Okay.
and if I had, I would have done the humble thing.
Yeah, you better, because you use my sewing room at home like your own personal quilt store to shop from. Mm-hmm. Well, no, you over there be quiet.
Well, the alternative is I would either use your stuff or have to buy something new. So which do you prefer?
Have you ever bought anything?
Tisha.
Yeah, but you don't take it home with you then. You don't know that. One time, Lori and Teresa.
I don't take from your stash. I don't.
Not my stash, because I don't have that much stash, and mine is
So
different
then what do
from
I
you.
take?
My tools.
What tools?
I got my ruler
Did
and thread.
Yeah.
No. Yes,
Mom,
thread.
no.
Oh, yes.
Okay, everybody, when I get back to Oklahoma City, we're going to do a What's New Wednesday, and I'm going to show you my sewing area, and we will do a live check-in.
My stuff.
We will do a live check-in
My stuff.
on my 2 spools of thread I have.
No.
What colors do I have?
I don't know, but you take them.
Oh.
I know you do.
Not like you have a quilt store?
I know y'all. See? You see, that's exactly what I mean. That's exactly what I mean. I was going to tell you that one time Lori and Teresa were using my long arm when I had it at home. And I came home, and the next time I was upstairs in my sewing room, they had hung everything up on the curtain rod that was way at the top. I couldn't reach anything to get it down. Lori was a little bit taller than me, but Teresa's a lot taller than me, and so they put everything out of reach for me.
Good.
Pretty funny.
I'm gonna leave all of your tools in your room, but I'm gonna put them too high so you can't get them down.
No.
Yeah?
No.
I'm gonna do it.
No, because
Since you claim I steal everything you have.
Not everything. Where's my flat iron?
No, but that's it's in my room. She just can't seem to ascend the staircase to go get it.
Not when I'm getting dressed. Okay, we're talking about sewing. Anyhow, going on this week. This is like Hunger Games over here. Anyhow, what we have going on this week
Those are devil horns.
Is the Quilter Boot Camp. And this is a class every morning, free, to come and learn basic stuff about quilting. Now, we have games afterwards also. You know why? Because the Olympics are going on. The Olympics are going on. And so we have fun games. But I'm not going to be the only one to tell you about this. I'm going to have Taylor Potter come on over here and join the scene.
Give
she is our instructor.
And everything.
There
Did
you
you
go.
see my wheel?
Oh, I love it.
I'll do it in a little bit. Again.
Go on.
Okay, you can. The stage is yours.
Awesome. So
there's some of the little right there.
Awesome.
And you can look into the camera.
And
you get the Beyonce fan.
Do you want me to do like a rundown of what I'm teaching, or just kind of talk about what
I'm? Oh my gosh! Yes,
you can.
Well, especially for Thursday and Friday.
Yes.
So
especially for Thursday and Friday because we haven't done
tell them about what's coming up, and then you can talk about what you taught so far.
Okay, so we are doing Quilters Basics Boot Camp this week, and the reason that I wanted to do this series is because I was a self-taught quilter, and when I was starting out, I feel like a lot of the time when somebody wants to start quilting, they get recommended to start at an instruction video that will tell you how to piece your blocks together and stuff like that, which you will eventually need to know. But for me, the first step was learning about fabric and why it behaves the way that it does and what to do with it. Then I needed to know about what tools that I needed to be using and what tools were less essential, and certain things like that. So what we started with on Monday is just a little bit of a Textiles 101 course, talking about the way that fabric is made, the differences in qualities in fabrics, why we like to use cotton for our quilts, just different properties of fabric, and how we can use those properties to manipulate our fabric into doing exactly what we want. For example, when you apply heat to fabric, the fibers that make up that fabric loosen up a little bit, and it allows you to move them where you want them, either wrinkling out your iron, or ironing out your wrinkles. Or
wrinkling out your iron? I do it every day. All the time.
So whether you're ironing out your wrinkles or you're pressing your seams flat, understanding the properties of fabric and why it behaves the way it does was very helpful for me to move towards getting those more precise pieces. In order to have accurate piecing, you really have to be using a good cutting technique, a good pressing technique, a great sewing technique. There are a lot of different things that go into it. So if you jump in and just start sewing pieces of fabric together, for plenty of people that may work just fine. But for me, I needed to start at step 0 rather than step 1. So I wanted to kind of explain just a little tidbit from one of our classes is the difference between pressing and sewing, or pressing and ironing, pardon me. For ironing, I really like to say that ironing is what you do before you cut your pieces. When you've got your yardage out, you've got some wrinkles that you're trying to get out of it, you're using that downward pressure and forward motion to push those wrinkles out of your fabric. You don't want to do that after you cut your fabric because that can lead to inaccuracies in your sizing. So when we're pressing our seams, we don't want to be using that forward motion because that can warp your fabric.
So ironing you like to do before you quilt, and then, okay.
Correct.
I can also do the downward camera view if it's easier for you to set that there, whichever works for you.
You know, you have to hold it either way.
Okay,
It doesn't set very well, but it's setting.
Yeah,
Here we go. So quilting cotton is a industry standard higher quality cotton than just standard cotton that you may not trust as much. Quilting cotton is woven at 60 to 75 threads per square inch. And that means your warp threads, which are the long threads, and the weft threads, which are your width threads, there's going to be 30 of each, and it adds up to 60, or so on and so on. It takes the warp and the weft and combines them and counts how many are in 1 square inch of it. So this is kind of a zoom in.
Oh, so this is like the microscopic version of a square inch.
It sure is.
Theoretically,
and
yeah.
This is 60 threads. This is 30 black threads and 30 white threads woven together. And it's an even weave just like you would find in quilting cotton. When we're pressing down and applying that movement to it. What we're doing is kind of pushing these threads, which can cause them to warp and mess with the size or the shape of your fabric. So if we're using that forward motion, we really want to make sure that we're doing that before we're cutting our piece. So that as we're pressing it, we're not misshaping or missizing our piece. And we can just get these back in here like this. But when it's tightly woven together, 60 of these per square inch, it's a lot more difficult to get these straightened out. So once you do that with the cotton, it's really kind of difficult to get each thread exactly back where it was. So I caution against using too much forward pressure when you're ironing, and especially not when you're pressing. When you're pressing your seams, it is straight down. Another thing that I learned was that you don't want to be using steam during this part of your pressing.
Oh yes, I did know this, but I also never knew why.
So
like I just know not to use steam.
Steam shrinks your fabric. So previously, and I like to work on little tiny blocks. So and I've got my little tiny iron that I keep on my sewing desk. So what I was doing is I would press my seams, I would get my best press or whatever pressing agent I'm using, and then I would get my iron right on top of it and just and I love it. It just feels good, but it's
really bad.
Don't do that.
Yeah, distorts the fabric.
Exactly, because what I was doing is I was putting that iron right on my seam and pressing it and steaming it, and that's shrinking the area where I've got my iron. And I'm not doing that equally all over my block, and even if I was, you really can't count on a consistent shrink rate across the whole block, just depending on where you've stitched, and if you're using different fabric companies use different substrates. So if you're not using, Moda, it can get messy. What it tends to do, at least for my squares, is it shrinks them in towards the middle where all the seams meet.
And it makes it
pucker.
Pucker thing.
It puckered them.
I've done that.
And I couldn't figure out for the longest time. And then somebody told me not to steam my seams anymore. And she's standing behind the camera. It's Tisha.
Was it you? She's the all-knowing quilter.
You never know what you don't know until you figure it out.
Some of my blocks that I've made that were intense blocks, right? They have like 40 pieces in them. And they came out so bad, so wonky. You know which one it is? The Christmas quilt that I have. You have to go look at it carefully.
The forbidden Christmas quilt?
The forbidden.
The one that you had long-armed and then picked it out and then re-long-armed.
And pieced it 100 times because it looked so bad.
Hey, that's okay. It happens
Don't
to the
use
best
steam.
of us. It happens to the best of
Then
us.
somebody told me, quit using steam. I was like, oh my gosh, how come nobody told me this before?
You don't know what you don't know
until you don't know.
Exactly.
But
exactly.
You can use the acorn pressing solution.
I love the acorn pressing solution, and we're actually going to be talking about it quite a bit for our pinwheel demo, which is what day is specific? I know how many weekends away it is. I don't know the specific date. Oh, the bolded one. Pardon me. That's Saturday, August 10th. So we're going to be making fabric folded pinwheels. I wish I had one on me because they're just so cute. It's 3D folded fabric quilt blocks into a pinwheel, and it's so cute. But the way that they are assembled ends up with several layers of fabric right in the middle. And of course, when we're adding layers of thread with our stitches, it piles up a little over little. So what I was finding was it was getting really bulky in the middle after I was, you sew this piece to this piece, and then you sew these pieces together, and then these pieces together. I found it was getting really bulky in the middle. So I switched over to the acorn glue, and I pieced all of it, and then I did my stitches how I was supposed to. And it cut down on, I think, 4 lines of stitches. Yeah. And it made a big difference for the middle. So when we're talking about our fabric pinwheels, we're going to go over the acorn glue as well. Because I think that it's really,
so
really
make
helpful.
Sure to come to that demo. It's August 10th?
August 10th. Saturday, August 10th. And this Saturday, we are doing reverse applique thrift upcycling. So we've gotten a couple pieces from the thrift store, and we have turn them into something really exciting.
Oh, fun! That's the demo for this Saturday?
It is. And if y'all have any Taylor Swift fans in the audience, come check this one out. It's got a fun little Taylor Swift theme this week.
Oh my gosh, fun! Okay, so that's the demo this Saturday.
It sure is,
then
yes.
Next Saturday will be the mini pinwheel. walls.
That's correct. That's correct.
Okay. I'm going to make a little note so that everybody can see that.
And then just a couple of other things as far as working with quilting fabrics. Batiks actually have a higher thread count than our standard printed cottons have because they need the higher thread count to hold onto the wax that's used as a resist during the dyeing process. With regular traditional printed cotton, through research, fabric manufacturers have found that 60 to 75 thread count range does a really good job of maintaining the print, the inks and dyes that they use during the printing process for that. And it is ideal for reducing wear and tear, fraying. It softens as we wash it instead of pilling and getting kind of rough. So just through trial and error and research and all that, quilting cotton companies have really settled on like a 60 to 75 in general thread count range. And it's something that you won't be able to tell by looking at the bolt, and you won't really be able to tell by looking at the fabric, but you'll feel the difference. You'll feel the difference in that really good quality quilting cotton.
Okay.
I wanted to go over the process of how it's printed as well a little bit because it differs from your quality quilting cottons that you're getting from a quilting store versus the stuff that they are putting out for box stores.
And this was what you talked. What was Monday's like?
Monday was textiles, and we talked about all of this.
Yes, so
and this
very informative. I'm excited to hear this.
Yes, this is the reason you can tell a difference between the fabric that you're getting from, say, Walmart, just for example, and any quilting cotton store. Of any quilting store. When quilting cotton companies print their fabric, they use a process that's very similar to screen printing, if you've ever seen that. They put the fabric out on a conveyor belt, and then one color at a time, they will bring down their stamps, stamp it over the fabric with a stencil over it, and then it moves 26 to 28 inches down the line. They stamp it with the next color, and it moves down the line. They're using really high quality inks and dyes. They're using a great quality substrate. And they're using a process that is very, very reliable. For box stores, their priority, rather than just high quality, is to get a product out at a low cost so that they can get it to a consumer at a lower cost. And so the process that they use for printing their fabrics is a little bit different. It's a little bit more cost effective. Instead of going in one at a time and adding these layers of high quality inks and dyes, they will stamp the fabric with a solution that's more like a paint that sits on top of the fabric. And then when that dries, they will come back over it with an adhesive that's kind of similar to Mod Podge. So the reason that doesn't feel the same and doesn't look the same as what you would find from, say, Moda and over Robert Kaufman is because that image is sitting on top of the fabric rather than having altered the fibers of the fabric to change color. And when we wash that fabric, I find that the adhesive that covers that paint can wear off unevenly in places, and then you get kind of peeling, almost like or cracking, like when you get a t-shirt that's got an image on it, and then after a few washes it's crackling and peeling off in places. It doesn't feel as good. It's stiffer because of the adhesive on top. It's like a kind of glue sitting on the top of your fabric that doesn't have that good feel that we've got with our really high quality cottons from quilting stores. Now, just depending on what you're using it for and what you're able to do, it's not always going to ruin your life. I'll just say that.
There's been, like, we've all been there where we had to get it from the big stores that shall not, he who shall not be named.
Certainly.
But the craft stores. We've all been there. It's not like a scarlet letter.
We're not going to be the ones to tell you, like...
Yeah, like, oh, no, can't bring it in here. But
right.
There's benefits to not using it.
Certainly. The more you wash it, it's with quilting cotton that you get from a quilting cotton provider. I think the biggest difference is how long it lasts.
Yes.
By far, it's going to feel better.
longer.
It's going to last longer. It's not going to pull or fray or lose the color as fast. We put so much work into our quilts. We spend hours working on these. We spend money putting it into it. Even if you're not using quilting store cotton, you're putting money into the fabric that you did purchase, thread, the wear and tear on your machine. It all adds up. And when we're putting that much into a quilt, you want it to last a long, long time. So that's why I recommend selecting the right fabric for the right project. Are you all tired of me yet?
No.
Back in? Oh,
I was talking to her about the cool weave thing, and then I was
gotcha.
messing with her.
Gotcha.
Sorry.
Okay. Hey, no worries, y'all. I'm a big fabric nerd, so I can just go on and on and on and on about fabric.
So when I got to listen to Monday's session and yesterday's session, I was like, remember when I told you that you reminded me I needed to go get needles?
That's right.
Because I was like, oh my gosh, I'm out of needles.
I took needles home. Did you take needles home too?
Wait, when did you get them?
I took them home on Friday.
What kind?
Top stitch 90. Folks, is this her saying she just took something home from the store? That she never
Stop it, Caroline! No, I said I didn't take anything from your sewing room.
Okay.
Wait, are the top stitch ones fine? What made you get those ones?
I just wanted those ones.
Okay, I thought we were out of needles because I couldn't find my regular ones.
So you took some home. Okay.
You can take it out of my paycheck.
Yeah.
There we go.
So, did you tell them about your class for tomorrow and
I told them
Friday?
about brain burp. Yes, reverse applique on.
Did you say brain burp?
Yes. It's a little more polite, I guess. So, Monday we did textiles. Yesterday we talked about selecting your equipment and tools and how to maintain your sewing machine. Go ahead and clean it. Right now. Go ahead and clean it.
Just go clean it. Go dust it out.
So we talked about how frequently to change your rotary cutter blade, how frequently to change your sewing machine needle. And a lot of those answers are, it depends. So, pardon me, I have to.
She has to sneeze.
Oh. I thought she's so cute. She leaves to go sneeze, whereas I just have to sneeze wherever I am.
Do it wherever we are.
Yeah.
It's the difference between.
So one thing I found out that I didn't actually know is that apparently you're supposed to change your sewing machine needle after every 8 hours of use.
Right.
I've always gotten, it depends. And it does. It certainly does.
Yeah.
But that kind of takes the guesswork out of it a little bit.
Okay,
So every
new project.
Every new project, every 8 hours of use. And how often do you clean your sewing machine?
Oh, constantly.
Gotcha.
I'm like
Because
anal about the whole
we
thing.
use ours frequently because we work at a quilt store. So
Yeah,
for
it's
us,
just for me. It's just a thing. It
Because
brings
I
me
don't
joy.
like when I can see the dust through that plate.
Yeah. No, I clean it all the
I
time.
can't do that.
And how often do you change your rotary blade? When do you know that it's time?
Oh, when I have to go over it a second time, then
Yeah,
it's time
if I'm
to
having to
change.
go over it a second time, then it's time to change.
Yeah.
Your rotary cutter should be able to cut through 2 pieces of fabric without like very, very minimal pressure downwards.
Right.
It should be able to cut through all of your seams when you're trimming up and
Yeah.
you've got those seams piled on top of each other. And then anytime it's got that even skip, go ahead and change it out. Because if you're using a dull rotary cutter, you're increasing your chances to veer off track and go over your
Yeah.
And a dull rotary blade can do some damage too.
Oh, yeah.
So
Oh, yeah.
certainly keep those changed.
But what are you talking about tomorrow?
Tomorrow I'm talking about stitches and seams.
Okay.
We're going to be talking about
okay.
stitching in a straight line. We're going to be talking about getting nice flat seams and interlocking them.
And 1/4 inch stitches? Getting a good 1/4 inch stitch?
Getting an accurate straight 1/4 inch stitch. we're diving deep. And the whole thing, we're getting a little nerdy about it. We're talking about like the physics of using a rotary cutter.
Yeah.
We're talking about the chemistry of using best press. We're doing
And when to use it. And
Exactly.
why it's necessary. All of that jazz.
exactly.
I know.
I
Then on Friday, I'm doing Friday.
You're doing Friday.
What are you doing on Friday?
I am doing how to square up a quilt and how to add borders to a quilt. Because
And we'll be doing a ribbon ceremony.
A ribbon ceremony. That's right. The medals.
Exactly.
Uh,
Exactly.
We'll be doing that for the people who have attended the classes this week. Yes. But putting on borders, because you know what? We get quilts in to be quilted here, and they are a wonky nightmare because
And
the
it's
borders
because
weren't done
patterns
correctly.
don't tell you. They just say put your border on, but they don't explain the proper way to put a border on.
Yeah.
And there is a proper way.
Right. Yeah.
Yep.
So
And
that
Tisha will show
is
you how.
my thing on Friday.
Woohoo! So yes, Thursday is stitches and seams.
Yes.
Friday is squaring and putting on the borders.
Yes.
And
And a ribbon ceremony.
and a ribbon ceremony. And these sessions start at
10:30.
10:30. And there's prizes and games, so it's something you want to come and stay for. It's about an hour, hour and a half, 2 hours.
Yeah.
It's been a blast, and we have everyone from very experienced quilters to people who have not made a single quilt yet.
Yeah.
It's for everyone because a lot of people, like I said, if you start with just sew something together, you're missing out on a lot of the and I'm just a nerd about that stuff. I love textiles and I'm the kind of person who has to know why we're doing it this way. But I feel like when we know why we're doing it that way, we can really take advantage of our techniques, and
Makes it very rewarding.
it makes it very rewarding.
And you can make good decisions while you're sewing.
Exactly.
Yes.
Exactly.
Yep.
Good decisions while you're sewing.
Exactly.
Well,
Yay,
Taylor,
thank
I don't
you,
know
Miss
if you
Taylor.
saw, but so many. Oh yes. Oh. Oh no.
What happened?
Tammy says her volume's not working. Okay. Well, a lot of people are saying you're a great speaker and they're enjoying the speaking. So
See?
I didn't know if you saw the comments as
Thank
it was
you.
popping up.
Wow, thank you. I appreciate you.
But and somebody said, would we ever consider putting these classes online?
We are very strongly considering it. I think we
recording
probably
the
will.
sessions
Mhm.
and putting them online. That would be a great idea.
Yes.
We'll probably do it as a series. That way, when you're ready to learn how to measure and cut, you can go to measure and cut. That way, it's not kind of a 5-hour YouTube video.
Yeah.
Right.
But yes, we are planning on making this a series.
Hey, awesome. Well,
Yes.
for all the people that said they really enjoyed hearing Taylor speak, she is very informative and a very great speaker. So if you live here locally, stop by tomorrow and Friday at 10:30 for the session, and it's a blast.
And Saturday to see reverse
see the
applique.
No, I thought it was upcycle.
It is.
Reverse applique.
Reverse
And
applique
with
upcycle.
upcycle. Oh my gosh, you are going to love it.
This is fun.
Okay.
This is
Okay.
really cute.
So
I've
that's
been
on
itching
Saturday.
to do it.
So everybody jump in for Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Woohoo!
We'll teach you how to take just any thrifted sweater or shirt and how to transform it into something that's personalized and something that you love.
Mhm. And people are going to go, where did you get that?
Exactly.
Where did you get that?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Okay,
It's
a
gonna be
lot of
so
people are
fun.
saying they would love an online version of this and be able to attend an online boot camp.
Okay.
Okay, perfect.
Good to
Perfect.
know.
Sounds
Keep that in
awesome.
mind. Well, Taylor, thank you so much for the information. And then the
Pattern
pattern swap.
Thursday, August
Hold on, maybe
7th.
here. Let me see.
No, the 8th. Thursday is the 8th.
That sounds right. That sounds
How
right.
did you know that, Mother?
It's my sister's birthday. She'll be turning 60. They'll be turning
Once I get
60.
Birthday.
My sisters are twins.
Oh.
So, yeah, they'll be
Awesome.
turning 60. So, they're about almost a year and a half. Well, they are a year and a half younger than me. So,
I thought you were about to say they're a year and a half apart, and I was like,
no, they're twins.
that doesn't compute.
They're 5 minutes apart, I think. It used to be a constant
Mhm.
reminder of who's older between the two of them. You know, they'd be like, well, I'm the older one, but I don't remember now.
They outgrew it.
Yeah.
Now neither of them
Thankfully.
wants to be the older
I
one.
know.
They said, no, you're the
I'm
older
still the older one. Yeah, 'cause
one.
yeah, they're turning 60
Gotcha.
because I'll be 62 this year. That's how I have to remember that how old they'll all be. Well, it's just the three of us, not all, but
Mm.
anywho, thank you very much. Where did Noelle go?
I'm not sure. Pattern swap Thursday the 8th.
Mm-hmm. So tell us
1:30
about
p.m.
that. Mm-hmm.
Come in at 1:30 and bring all of the patterns and quilt books. For example, you know how like there's several Tin Sisters books that have
Yes,
multiple patterns in them.
Mhm.
Bring in whatever patterns you're not going to use anymore. It doesn't matter if these are vintage patterns, if it's something
Mhm.
brand new, if you've used it to make a quilt, or if you've never used it before.
You bought it and then you looked at it and said, "Oh my gosh, I have a pattern like that. It's a French general one."
Who hasn't done
I
that, right?
have that pattern, and then I got home and I went, "Oh my God." And I asked some of my quilting friends, do I really have to do it like this? And they said, well, I've seen easier versions of that quilt, but yeah, basically you have to. And so I've never used it. Because it was, I think
we've all done that.
I had to do sewing gymnastics with it, you know.
So bring in all of the patterns and books that you are no longer using. We're going to get started up here at 1:30 p.m. And as you come in, you'll turn your patterns into me, and I will give you a ticket per item. So you bring in 3 patterns in a quilt book. We're giving you 4 tickets. And then Tisha's going to host everyone for tea and pie.
I won't be here, but you will.
That's right. Tisha's not going to be here. And so we're gonna serve refreshments.
You know why? Because isn't it National Pie Day? Or it's
Afternoon
National
Tea
Day.
Afternoon tea day. So we're going to celebrate that with some afternoon tea. We're going to be serving refreshments, some tea and some snacks.
And some pie. Because you have to have pie with tea.
Exactly.
Or cake or whatever.
So while everyone's having their refreshments, I'm going to mix up all those patterns and then lay them all out. And as everyone's ready, we're going to let everybody in. First come, first serve. This is an in-person event only, unfortunately, but we are looking to do this again in the future.
Yeah, we are.
If anyone's not able to make it, just keep an eye out, and we'll be doing this again on a weekend eventually.
Yep,
just
we will
switch it up and give everyone an opportunity to come.
Yeah,
but
there's a lot of patterns out there that you already made it, maybe even twice or 3 times, and you'd like something new. This is your chance to get something new.
Come get something new and to de-stash your old patterns as well.
And if you don't want anything new, that's okay too.
Just come get rid of them. We'll get rid of them for you.
Come leave them here and we'll adopt them out to needy families.
Needy quilters, uninspired quilters.
There we go.
Breaks my heart. Anyways, that's all I've got to say for today. So
that's awesome. Thanks, awesome.
Guys.
Thank you. Okay. Yay. Wasn't that fun learning all of that stuff from her? It is so. Okay. I have to switch back over to comments. Yes. Oh, Diana says she's a twin. Happy birthday to them. Yay. Those twins, they're a lot of work when they're kids. I remember that. Happy birthday. Okay. So, yes, we are having fun here. Let me tell you what else we've got coming up. That's going to be really quick here any minute. The layered portrait technique with Leo Ransom, that is going to be next Saturday on the 10th. So come on by or register for that class. Not come by, register for that class. It is a quilt that you're making, a quilt block, and it is just a new technique, thinking outside the box. If you haven't taken one of his classes, this is a really sought after class. We still have some spots in that. And then I have a jelly roll class coming up towards the middle of the month, and the making bags quilt class that is coming up. So I did want to show you what I demoed this past weekend, excuse me, which was on a Saturday, and that is 2-sided binding. Ta-da! Not like that. 2-sided binding into how you fold it. So I'm going to show you this because we got in the rest of the fabric that we were supposed to get in by Saturday that didn't show up until Monday. But let me show you this. It is by Art Gallery Fabrics. It is called 2.5 edition. And that's because of the binding. I'm going to see if I am able to switch. Boy. I did it. I love it when I can do something and it makes sense. All right. So this, and I'm going to start with a different one because that black and white is really hard to see sometimes on a camera. It makes your eyes dizzy and the camera can't focus. So this is a 2.5 binding fabric that comes from Art Gallery Fabrics. It comes in yardage, and the yardage is printed selvage to selvage. It has cutting lines on there. So here's one right here. It has cutting lines on there, and we suggest you cut with scissors to keep it straight, because sometimes just folding it in half and cutting it with a rotary blade is not going to give you a good straight cut. So we suggest you cut with scissors. The half yard package that we have is going to give you 7 strips at 2.5 inches. I want to say, let's see, hold on. Yep, 2.5 inches. Actually, I'm trying to see this. Hold on. Yeah, 2.5 inches. The 2.5. I thought it was. So a half yard will give you 280 lineal inches. That's plenty to get a small quilt done, even a medium quilt. If you feel like you want more, you can get the 1 yard package. It's going to give you 14 strips, which is 560 lineal inches. What you do with this, when you get this fabric here, I'm going to show you this one now. The 2-sided binding means that you've got different prints on each side of your binding where you've cut it. So if you even just look at these right here, you see I've got black, gold. Right here I've got these little X's or little flowers with these little seedlings, little crosses, and some little gobbledygook symbols right there. And then the black and white, which has triangles, these little towers right here, a little black and white grid, and then little dots. So you're going to cut it just like you normally do, 2.5 inches. It's going to be a little bit wider because they're giving you room to work with to stitch it down. And then you iron it in half. Now, depending what side you want to use is the side that you're going to stitch down to your quilt top, to your quilted piece. So if I want to use the little triangles and the lines, what I'm going to do is stitch it down just like, oops, here we go. I'm going to stitch it down just like this, okay? With a 1/4 inch seam allowance, just like you normally do. So I've got a 1/4 inch seam allowance. And then when I iron it to fold it up and flip it over to the back, on one side, I've got these cute little triangles. On the other side, I have the black and white lines. If you don't like those, then do it on the other side. Now I'm stitching down to my quilt a 1/4 inch seam allowance, and I'm stitching the other side down so that when I fold it up like this and over, I've got the little dots on one side and I have the little grid on the other side. How cute is that? You have a choice right there. So if I'm looking at this one right here, and oops, how about this one? If I'm looking at this one right here, and I go to stitch it down, depending how I'm stitching it, I have these little lines on one side. That's going to be one side of it. The little X's or little flowers on the other. If that is not the side that I want, or that just gets me all giggly, I can take it, do it the other way. Do this one. And on one side, I've got all these fun little symbols and designs. The other side, I have the little X's. How cute is that? I love that. So here is a different one right here. I need these short ones because the long ones are too hard to work with. The short one right here, iron it in half. I've got black and white. The other side, I've got the gold. Depending which way you want to stitch it down, you either have the binding with the gold, or you get the binding with the black and white. And it is just cute, 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 cute. So the one I was waiting for that was supposed to be in, this one, this is a new one that we just got in. On one side of it, this is going to be 4 designs also, as opposed to 2 designs. Like this one is a 2 design one, right? So this is a 4 design. You have these little colorful flowers right here. Then you have little gold flowers, stars, and it says handmade with love. Then the other side, depending what side you're sewing down, you've got these little black flowers. And then you have like these little cross stitch X's, and it says handmade, one of a kind. I love this one. I love the colorful, and then the black and white right there, kind of black. It's got black and a little bit of gold. I love that one. And the other one that I have, this one. This is a colorful one also. You've got these cute little dots right here. They look like little pencil dots, kind of. You've got blue and gold and green, and I know there's some pink in there. Then you have these little pink stars in there, and it says sparkle, sparkle, love. It has a couple of little sayings on it. Then right here, you have some little stars, I guess you could call them. They're like little diamond shapes, and they're in the black on the cream background. Then you have these little stars, and it says love, and I think that's all it says. This one says love. These are just so cute. And then we've got in the black and the white. We have in this one also, which is very pretty. You've got the pink and orange. Those are some of my favorite colors to work with, pink and orange. And then I've got the blue right here. Look how fun these all are. So that's what I showed this past Saturday. These are on the website. You can type in 2.5 edition, and it'll pull it up on the website. It'll pull up everything we have. You can type in binding 2.5 binding, and it'll pull this up right there on the website. They are really, really, really so cute. Yeah, Sandra, I love that. I love these bindings also. So another thing I wanted to show you all today, let me see if I can switch this. Yay, I haven't broken it yet. We got some gorgeous fabrics in. These are just beautiful. And they weren't sold as part of a collection. It was just 4 fabrics that Moda came out with, not part of a collection. So if you're like, how come she didn't buy everything else? It's because there wasn't an everything else that went with it. It only came with 4 pieces in it. But they are so beautiful that you're going to be able to incorporate them into a bunch of different projects. The first one I want to show you is, oh, so pretty. Hold on. Yay! Look at this print. I'm going to raise it up before I come lower because it is so, so pretty. You've got kind of architecture going on in the background. That is a blueprint, kind of a green print of a park in the background. You've got writing. It looks like a ledger. You've got writing in the background. And then you've got these gorgeous botanical prints like you would see hanging up on the wall, these gorgeous botanical prints, plus these Audubon birds. So pretty. And this makes a beautiful backing. It would be a beautiful bag. Just so many pretty things you can do with this. I am in love with this. You've got some labels right here, and then some more greenery. So, so, so pretty. I'm going to come down close so you can see. Can you see the different writings right there? There's a little bit of writing. And then you get over here and you've got kind of architectural print in the background. Then you look over here where you're looking at these florals. It shows you, you know how you see those prints in hotels and stuff like that? Hello, how are you? You see these beautiful prints in the hotels and stuff. So you've got that right there. And I mean to tell you, this is just a gorgeous, gorgeous print. So the next one I want to show you, this tones it down just a little bit. And I need to say, let me move this up a little bit. Here is one that is more of a tone on tone. So this is going to have just a lot of fleur-de-lis, some irises in the background. You've got the printing on top of the drawings in the back. This is more of a tone on tone. I don't want to say black and white because it is a little bit creamy, but you've got this pretty that again you can just tie it into all kinds of work that you're doing. Using it for a lining of a bag I think would be delicious. Oh, it's so pretty. And then just taking it and putting it with some cork or even a solid color. I think of like a dark burgundy would be so pretty with this. It is beautiful. This is, I don't know what this is called. Oh, Favorite Collages by Three Sisters. Favorite Collages. Thank you, Debbie. Now, this is all architecture. I love this. This is all architectural printed. Looks like I put it out upside down. I don't know that it really has an up and a down. I guess a little bit. And it looks like it is in French. Yes, it looks like it's in French. You've got, again, tone on tone where it's this beautiful gray on top of this kind of, what do you call it? Creamy color. It looks like it has coffee stains on it. So it looks old. It looks really vintage. So pretty. You can use this in anything also. You know what I think of when I see this? A man's shirt. I think would look really gorgeous with this, with some dark gray buttons. Oh my gosh. And then the inside of the sleeves, put something else with it, like maybe a thatched fabric. I think that would just be gorgeous. Very sharp looking. Beautiful, beautiful. Here is another one that has lots of color. So we've got lots in these prints right here. Trying to get this. Here is another one. It's not the same as the one that I showed you earlier. Same style, but not the same prints. This one, you're going to have the architectural prints also in here like this. Again, some of the ledgers and some labels. That looks like a wine. No, it just says plaques. But you've got some pretty writing and then some scrolls. The flowers are a little bit bigger in this one and smaller birds. So the birds are a little bit smaller. You can see that. The florals are a little bit bigger. And I feel like the background architecture is a little bit bolder. You know what? I think this would make a really pretty shirt also. I really do. I think it is pretty. Or a skirt. I could see this as a really pretty skirt as well. It's yummy. And then the last one that we have, and again, we've got this in the store now. This is by Three Sisters, and it is Favorite Collages. That's by Moda. Here is one that we have that is what? Christmas holiday fabric. Look at those drawings, that pen and ink drawing of those pine cones. You have snowflakes. You have a vintage looking Christmas card or maybe just a little portrait right there. Gorgeous bells. I mean, this is just a beautiful vintagey piece. A little bit of color. You've got the snowflake right here that's just barely tinged in blue. It's just like outlined in blue. So, so pretty. And then cardinals. Look how pretty those cardinals are. You've got a pretty little picture right here close up and postage stamps. I am a sucker for postmarks and stamps and stuff. So this is another pretty, pretty piece that we have in. The detail in it, this is one of those that you can just sit and look at it and keep finding more and more stuff as you're looking at it because it is so pretty. Oh, look, music right back there. I hadn't seen that. And right up here, there's candelabra or candlesticks, not a candelabra. I guess maybe a little one. right there. Look how pretty these prints are. And there's a white snowflake also. And then even farther back, you've got that cream stamping that goes on the lighter cream right there. That's like a floral print right back there that goes on top of this lighter one. And then everything else continues to go on top of it. Look at this. Oh, look, little seed pods. Aren't those pretty? So, what do y'all think about this? Do you love this as much as I do? Because I think it is just gorgeous. I think it is like going to be one of my fan favorites for a long time, especially with this. I love it. Look at the little bird nest right there and holly berries. This is the newest one that we have in. I think when you stop in and see it, you're going to absolutely fall in love with it. You can find it on the website with the links that we just posted, that Debbie posted for you. Look at this one. So pretty. I don't know which one's my favorite. Do you have a favorite? Tell me about it. Do you have a favorite? Marilyn says, I love it. I love it too. I love it too. Okay. I just love that. So we are just about done with time today. Thank you so much for joining us. I hope you will make it over to the store sometime this week. Are you thinking about our shop hop yet? Because that will be the next big event we have coming up that's going to be like big. We've got 24 stores in it all across DFW. They're split into two regions. If you're just hearing this for the first time, it's split into two regions, two separate prizes going on, and it is going to be fun. You've got 2 weeks to complete it because Labor Day falls in the middle of it. So we made it 2 weeks instead of 1 week so that everybody still has a chance to enjoy Labor Day. Some of the stores are open, not all of them. Some of them are open, and you can enjoy Labor Day. You can shop hop if you want, and if you can't do it, you still get 3 weekends that you're able to. Is it 3 weekends? Yeah, you still get 3 weekends that you're able to shop. It's going to be fun. So thank you for joining us today. I hope you enjoyed everything we had to show you. Like and tag this if you can. And tag it, I mean, like send it to a friend or tag a friend so that they can see it too. And we will see you back next Wednesday at 1 o'clock on What's New Wednesday at Not Your Mama's Quilt Store. Thank you. See you later.